Okay, my story is called From Riches to Rags to Riches. My epigraph is in this life, if you have a life worth living, nothing's ever given, it's all earned. The real joy comes from conquering the journey, not the final destination. If God gave you a rough start, He doesn't hate you, He's given you the blessing of making the conquering even sweeter. And to start the story. It's a beautiful day in the city of London. Not a single cloud in the sky, not a single person in sight wearing a jacket, tourists lining up to go on the London Eye, kids running around playing basketball on the courts in Mayfair Park, bright green grass and flowers blossoming all around the city. You can feel the positive atmosphere and smiles when you walk into Costa Coffee and see people eating their English muffins and drinking their iced coffees. But for 15-year-old Remy Grover, this is nothing but disgust for him. All this showed him was how unpleasant of a life he had. Now he never got to do any of the fun things that his classmates got to do. Living on the streets of nearby city Hayes, Remy's uneducated mother, Diane, are constantly exposed to the ugly things in this world. Eating one meal a day and having to sleep in dirty blankets in the snowy nights of London was just the start. It wasn't sunshines and rainbows for the both of them. Lonely, ugly, tough. His father left him and his mother when he was just 2 years old. The term, when it rains, it pours, was beyond an understatement. But in life, even at the end of a heavy rain, comes a rainbow. As a homeless kid, you don't get to access showers too often. Remy wore the same thing to school, every single day. Yo, Remy, you wore them clothes yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, yelled Josie, one of the boys in his class. No one wanted to hang out with the boy who's worn the same clothes for 4 days straight. Hey, how about you put your money where your mouth is, you little prick? Shouted Remy. Remy lunged at him, landing a punch right to the jaw. Psh, psh. Remy laid down fist after fist after fist, knocking Josie to the other side of the classroom. You could see his two front teeth cracked right in half right by his desk. Don't ever make fun of me, you little shit, Remy shouted. In furiousness, Mrs. Baker screeched for the both of the boys to go to the principal's room. When they walked into the principal's room, the principal was anxiously looking at him. Bad words, fighting, making fun of a homeless kid. Cannot believe this. I have looked down and takes a deep breath. Zero choice but to expel the both of you, said Principal James. Remy had nothing. No school, no home, little money. But there was one thing. Golf. As a source of protection from the disgusting rioters and filthy muggers, Remy carried around an old wooden 7-iron that was given to him by the world champion Seve Ballesteros in a fundraiser for homeless children when Remy was 11. Seve also gave Remy advice that he will never forget. You know, kid, when I was a teenager, I was told I was never tall enough, never good enough, or smart enough to play this game. You know what I said to him? I'm going to be the greatest player in the freaking world, and all you guys are going to be able to mow my lawns and clean my floors. Remy was hypnotized. Greatness was on his mind. So you're telling me you were just the average kid and you worked your way to be the greatest in the game? Yeah, I don't listen to nobody. I'm big time now, kid. No one can crack the mind of a champ. You got it, kid. You could do the same thing. Just do your own damn thing. Don't take crap from nobody. I think I can do that. Damn right you can, kid. Take this club here. It was my 7-iron when I won at Augusta in 81. Spend time honing your skills with this. You'll be in my position for a few years. Remy believed it. He truly, deep down, thought he could be one of the greatest in the world. The work began, but it wasn't your regular club to golf ball. It started with rocks. Since he was not in school anymore, he'd hit golf balls right outside the McDonald's which his mom worked for hours upon hours upon hours. Whoosh! Crack! Remy hit rock after rock continuously at the old door that was laying on the bench and waiting to be picked up from the garbage guys. People turned heads, sized up the kid, and even sat there and watched him hit the rocks over and over again into the very middle crack of the door. Plunk! Remy got so many in a row in the middle crack that it created a hole in the middle of the door. Right through it. People were so entertained with this kid. It was very rare for a boy in England to be a star golfer, let alone one who doesn't even have an address. The heads continued to turn. The people in the restaurant stopped eating their food. Diane glanced outside and saw something that would change her life forever. Among these observers, was one of the richest men in the world, Wesley Royal. Although he was a rich man, he could never get enough of his $1 McDonald's sweet tea with a chocolate chip cookie. He took his weekly walk over to the corner of 7th and Abyss, where he couldn't wait to get his treat. But then he looked over, and he realized he could wait. Whoosh! Another Remy Grover golf shot with the rock, square through the middle of the door. Wesley was impressed. As an avid golfer himself, he watched this kid, realized how fundamentally sound everything looked. Crisp swing plane, loose grip, and lots of effortless power. After watching him hit a few balls, Wesley just couldn't resist. Wow, looks like we got a tour professional out here. What's your name, kid? Remy couldn't believe it. He looked up and he saw England's chosen one, Wesley Royal. He was so tense he almost forgot his name. Thank you, sir. I'm Remy. Remy, what a great name. Let me ask you, kid, why are you hitting rocks into a door with a Solt 7-iron? Observers looking on couldn't believe the Wesley Royal was talking to this homeless kid. Smiles appeared on others' faces, and when Diane looked up, she couldn't help but tear up. I want to be a great player. I want to be the greatest to ever play the game. And to be continued.